Morning. A lot of this slideshow is going to be about learning to listen for yourselves and make your own decisions, not basing it off what you hear from other people. It's very easy to make a decision based off what you're hearing from your classmates. They're telling you about how their interviews went, they're telling you about what they were offered from either their current job to stay or offered from a new job. You're hearing about the opportunities that some of your classmates are getting, and you're hearing about some of the other things going on. And you immediately think, well, I should be offered that amount. Or I want my interview to go that way. What you're not hearing is everything else that went into this. There's a lot of context and circumstances that goes into people's situations that quite often you may not know. Did someone present a certain way during the interview? Did they tell a certain story? Do they have a background with either the company, like they worked there before, or maybe they're related or know somebody who worked there? In the interview, did it come up that they have a skill that that company needs right now? And did this opportunity sound amazing because they're going to be moving or they're planning to go somewhere else? These are all things you might not know. So, what happens when you make your decisions based off what you hear from other people? You could start chasing goals that, quite honestly, are unattainable. Somebody may talk about they were offered $23 an hour, but they may have to work 60 hours a week. Well, if you're a single parent and you have responsibilities at home, that may not be feasible for you. So, that goal of what that classmate achieved may not even be realistic for your situation. It can lead you to getting frustrated, thinking people aren't being fair, that people aren't giving you the identical opportunities that somebody else got. It can also start making you wonder if you made the right choice. Are you doing what you need to? Should you have been in a different field? It can really make you doubt what you're doing. So that brings up the question, how do you listen for yourself? You set a goal. Where do you want to be? What do you need versus what you want? You may need to make $12 an hour so you can pay your bills, but you may want to make 16 an hour so you can live the same way you've been living. What do you need versus what you want? Also, what elements of your life are most important to you? For some of you, it'll be scheduling, so you can take care of family responsibilities and children and things outside of the home. For some of you, it'll be the dollar amount. For a lot of you, it'll be the environment you're working in. But you have to decide what is the most important things for you. So when you're setting goals, you need to keep the SMART guideline and make them specific so that they're very clear, very defined. Measurable. You don't know if you've achieved success unless you have a way of measuring your progress to your goal. Attainable. Is it realistic? For you coming out of Lincoln Tech as an entry level technician, expecting to go into a position as a master tech making 25 an hour is not a realistic goal. You need to know that up front, and you need to make sure your goal is realistic. Is it relevant? Saying that your goal is relevant means it's helping you get to where you want to be. So if you know you want to be successful in this field as an auto technician, setting a goal about getting a psychology degree, as good as that goal might be, has nothing to do with helping you progress to where you want to end up. And time bound. How can a goal motivate you if you don't have a time frame on it? Because in that theory, if you say, well, I want to be an automotive technician, well, that could be whenever. But if you say I want to be an automotive technician within 2 years, you now know you have to get moving on certain things. And it starts forcing you to set up a plan. So an example of a good goal would be, I'm working at a Ford dealership as an entry-level technician within 30 days of graduation. That goal is specific. I can measure whether or not this goal is being successful. Am I interviewing? Am I talking to Ford dealers? If I'm talking to Toyota dealers, it may be somewhat successful because I'm getting into a dealership, but it's not what my goal was. It is attainable, entry level. You know where you're going to be. It's relevant. It goes with the long-term goal of becoming an automotive technician. It goes with the long-term plan of what you want to do. And it's time-bound, 30 days. So you know if you want to be working within 30 days of graduation, then there's a time frame of when you have to interview, of when you have to apply, of when you want to do certain things. A poor goal would be, I want to work in the automotive field. It's a goal, but it's not specific. It's maybe somewhat measurable. It's definitely attainable. Could be relevant, but it's definitely not time bound. So there's a whole lot missing from this to make it something you can build a plan around. And that's the point. A good goal, something that you listen for yourself for, is going to be something that you can build a plan around. And now that as we're talking about plans, this is important to keep in mind. Plans serve the goal, not the other way around. A lot of times I'll hear students say, I can't work at a dealership because it's too far away. What's the goal? Is your goal to be local? Then why are we talking about dealerships that are out there? Is your goal to work in a dealership? If it is, then this distance element is something you need to create a plan for, not a reason to drop the goal. You need to make sure that your goals are what set your plans, not the other way around. A couple other things to keep in mind about plans. No matter what, if you want to achieve your goals, you will have to sacrifice. Now, what does a sacrifice mean? Well, it could be an initial pay cut. Could mean you spend longer time traveling. Some cases it could mean you relocate, like with the BMW STEP program. You might have to change your schedule. And there's a lot of other possible variations, but you're going to have to make a sacrifice, to deal with some hardship, to deal with some changes to make your goal happen. This is about short-term pain for a long-term gain. In summary, don't base your judgments off other people's outcomes. You don't know what they have. You don't know what they went through. You don't know their circumstances. You need to know what's important to you, and you need to set your goals accordingly. And once you've set your goals, you need to set plans that achieve those goals. You don't try to make a plan and then find a goal that fits it. You do that, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to find something that fits it perfectly. have a goal and make your plans fit that. This is about the long term. We are not about getting you a job. We're about hooking you up with a career. So when you make the jump into a career, you are going to have some sacrifice up front. It's going to be worth it, because this is about getting you something you can start a new chapter of your life with, something you can invest your time, your energy, your heart, your sweat, your passion into.